Hey everyone, this is Peter Estes of ValleyCAD, and it's another Tech Tip Tuesdays. In today's video, what I'm going to show you is how you can enable the freeze bar. So let's hop on over to SOLIDWORKS and see how we could utilize this. So you'll see on my SOLIDWORKS screen that I got this mouse that I drew up a couple years ago, and this mouse, it took quite a few features to make it. A lot of them actually. And whenever I come in to rebuild this part, it takes about 10 seconds to rebuild. Now, how do I know it took that long to rebuild? Well, where I go is I come up here to my Evaluate tab, and I'll select Performance Evaluation. So whenever I click on that, SOLIDWORKS will actually come in and it will tell me the name of the file, how many features you have, how many solid bodies, and how many surface bodies you have. So currently I have 69 features to make up this part, 5 solid bodies and 4 surface bodies. And then a little bit further down, you'll see the total rebuild time in seconds, which is 9.89 seconds. So we'll just say 10 seconds right now. And as you look a little bit further down, you would see a list of all the features that are used to make my part. And it'll actually list them in the order of which ones are taking the most amount of time to rebuild. And so you'll see here, Fillet 2 is taking the majority of my time. And Fillet 2 is taking 2.8 seconds, and that's roughly 28% of my rebuild time out of that 9.89 seconds. Wow, that does take quite a bit of time there. Now, you might also be saying, well, 10 seconds for a single part, that's not the end of the world. Well, let's say I take this part and I put it in an assembly, and let's say I need 100 of these, okay? Every time I'm in that assembly and I click Rebuild on it, well, it's going to go through and it's going to rebuild every single instance of that part file, every single feature of that part file, and it's going to take that 10 seconds times 100. Okay, now we can see why 10 seconds is going to take a little bit longer now, right? So, let's see what we could do to speed this up. Okay, so before we go too far into showing you the enable freeze bar, I want to show you kind of how SOLIDWORKS goes about rebuilding a part. How SOLIDWORKS goes about it is it starts in the very top of your feature manager design tree and rebuilds each feature as it goes down the list. Okay, and so you'll see here whenever I click rebuild, it'll start off at surface extrude 1. If everything rebuilds successfully on surface extrude 1, SOLIDWORKS will then go to the next feature down, which will be surface trim 1. And then once that one's done, it will go down to surface extrude 2, plane 1, and so forth, okay? And so that's how SOLIDWORKS always rebuilds your parts. Whenever you click save, whenever you click open, whenever you do control B, or if you don't push control B, you can always click on the traffic light. The way that I typically rebuild is I push control Q. Control Q does a rebuild, but it goes a little bit deeper than a standard rebuild. The rebuild just kind of does it at face value, just goes through and goes, all right, quick. All right, I'm done rebuilding. Control Q is also known as a force rebuild. So if there's a feature that might not be totally stable, if you do a standard rebuild, SOLIDWORKS might just go right over it, think, not a big deal. When you do Control Q, it'll actually register and say, you know what, there is something going on here, maybe we should fix this. So I always use Control Q. The other reason why I use Control Q is it's actually easier for me to press those 2 buttons down on my keyboard. What I do is I make an L shape with my left hand, and I use my thumb to hit the control button, and Q with my pointer finger. So super easy to do. So how long is 10 seconds exactly? Well, if I push Control Q, you'll see that my mouse has that little, hey, let's wait a second here, well, 10 seconds to be exact. And also you'll see in the bottom left corner that I got a little, on my status bar, that it's got a green bar going across. Okay, we're done rebuilding. Let's see how long that actually took this time. So performance evaluation, exactly 10 seconds. Okay, so let's see how we can speed this up. How we can actually speed this up is enabling the freeze bar. And that's what this whole video is about, yeah. So where do we go to activate this? Let's come up here to our options. And where this is actually located is under our System Options, General, and under the General page, it's Enable Freeze Bar. It's the very last checkbox on this first set of checkboxes. So when I click on that and click OK, SOLIDWORKS is always going to have the freeze bar enabled every time I start up SOLIDWORKS. The reason why is because under System Options. System Options controls all of SOLIDWORKS. Document Properties only controls the given file that's active on your screen, which in this instance is ValleyCAD Mouse. Okay, so under System Options, General, enable freeze bar. If there are other parameters or functions that you want to enable or disable in your system options here, and you're just not totally sure where they are located, not to worry. In the top right corner of your window here, you could actually type in such function, let's say like rename, drafting standard rename. So if I select that, SOLIDWORKS is actually going to go to that tab, which is under Document Properties. It's going to go to the page that it's on, which is drafting standard, and it's going to highlight the variable that you wanted to enable. Okay, so really useful in case you're just like, man, where's this located? Or I wonder if SOLIDWORKS does have a way to edit this or change the variable. Search for it, see what comes up. All right, so back to system options. Enable freeze bar is enabled, and I click OK. All right, do you know something different on my design tree? Well, if you're not sure, look at the very across the top. SOLIDWORKS added this gold or orangish bar to the top of my design tree. And this acts like the rollback bar, except it goes from the top down. Okay, so if I click and drag this and start dragging it down, let's say I take it below fillet 2, because fillet 2 took the longest time to rebuild, and I let go. SOLIDWORKS will take every feature that's above my gold bar, you know, the freeze bar, and it'll turn it to a gray color, the text will be, and also add a padlock. What SOLIDWORKS basically did here is it did a capture of every single feature here and froze it. And it's just saying, all right, these features are good. Let's just rebuild. Every time I want to rebuild the part, I'm going to rebuild it from every feature starting below the freeze bar. So SOLIDWORKS in instance is just gonna ignore these features up above my freeze bar. Okay, there's no reason to rebuild them when they're good. So this is where the freeze bar is used. So now instead of coming up here and starting whenever I do Control Q and it starts up here, rebuilds that, next, it just ignores it and it starts rebuilding wherever is below my freeze bar. Pretty cool. So because I dragged this below fillet 2, which took up 2.8 seconds, give or take, to rebuild, let's see how long it takes to rebuild now. Push Control Q, and you'll see here it's already done. Awesome. So let's see how long this actually took. Performance evaluation. Wow, it only took 3 seconds now to rebuild. That is awesome. You know, that 100 times that we have this mouse in our assembly that we're going to have, it's not as detrimental, right? So I use the freeze bar all the time. And if you have it enabled on your SOLIDWORKS, it does not affect it in any way. Meaning every time you start up SOLIDWORKS, it doesn't take longer to open the software or anything like that. And the freeze bar is always going to be at the top of your design tree. Now, if you don't want to use it, you just simply take it, drag it to the very top of your design tree, and let go. Every feature that was above it is now active again. So you can, if I need to make an edit to Surface Extrude 3, I can do that now. Okay. So the freeze bar is phenomenal. I have it always active on my SOLIDWORKS, and I highly recommend that you do it as well, because as I was stating, it doesn't affect anything else. All it does is it helps you. Okay. So once again, my name is Peter Estes of ValleyCAD, and I'm the owner of ValleyCAD actually, and would really appreciate it if you guys would like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm actually posting 2 videos a week on this channel, and we do a video every Tuesday called TechTip Tuesdays, and another video called Just a Thought Thursdays. On top of doing YouTube videos, we are also on Twitch. We're doing live streaming, such as like when I do these recordings, I actually live stream on Twitch as well. So that way if you want to hop on, you could ask questions while we're prepping for these videos, or even while we're doing these recordings. Also, we live stream when we're doing like 3D scanning, or if we're doing in-house designing applications. Highly encourage you guys, like and follow us on Twitch. We are at ValleyCAD. Speaking of at ValleyCAD, we are also on Facebook and Instagram. Get on there, like and follow us so you can see the latest and greatest that's happening with ValleyCAD. We have a lot of phenomenal things that are in the works right now, actually. So also hop on over to our website. It's www.valleycad.com. On there you could actually see all the other services that we provide. On top of doing these videos and SOLIDWORKS training, like myself, I'm a certified SOLIDWORKS expert, been using SOLIDWORKS since version 2003, been teaching it at a professional level for other engineers and draftsmen, but also taught at the local college here. Love using SOLIDWORKS and pretty versed in it, but I'm still learning new things every day that I use the software actually. And so highly encourage you guys, like and subscribe to this video if I haven't said it enough already. And also like and subscribe to our channel. Leave a comment. Do you guys know about the freeze bar before you saw this video? Are there other tools that you like to use that help out with your rebuild times? Also, if you got other ideas like, hey, Peter, can you do a tech tip on something like this, or Just a Thought Thursdays? What's your take on this sort of function in SOLIDWORKS? Leave those in the comments, or you can hop on over to our website. My email is actually on our website. It's peter.estes@valleycad.com. Shoot me an email. I'm more than happy to respond to them if you got questions and so forth. So once again, thanks for watching this video. My name is Peter Estes. Have a great rest of the day, and make sure you learn something new.